Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the way back. This is my latest video at 15 months and 2 days, which is awesome. I don't know what it is, but when I say in my head, you're over 15 months sober, it sounds great. I'll be honest. It does sound like a long time, and it is. But yeah, I'm absolutely made up. It's awesome. Normally in these videos I go on to talk about whatever's kind of on my mind, but I'm going to do this video slightly differently because I've published three or four videos recently, and I got a little bit of negative feedback on three or four of the videos. Now I know it's social media and I'm putting myself out there, so I'm completely open to it, which is fine. But I was trying to understand where certain people were coming from with it, and so some of the basic theme was, am I sending out the right message to people who are struggling? And I'd never even thought of that, I've got to admit. Do you really think it's helping someone to listen to what I'm saying, who's still struggling and can't get past day one or whatever? And yeah, it's a fair point. But I think it's important for me to say, this is just a personal log of my journey with my personal opinions. That's it. I know we've created this little YouTube channel, but it's not there I've not done it to make money out of it. I'm not selling anything. I just recorded a couple of years ago when I was really struggling and at my worst, and I thought it might be a little bit of accountability to make a monthly video of my journey. And I did, and I got to 5 months, and I found it really interesting after the relapse, not at the time, but I got sober for 5 months, and when I look back over the videos, it built up a great picture of me kind of going downhill with my thinking. So of course, when I got my shit together again and wanted to get sober again, I thought we'll just carry on with these monthly videos, and I throw a couple of other videos in there now and again. But I kind of can see where the little bit of negativity's come from. And yeah, I understand it. I think the important thing for me to say is that I don't make these videos and hope that someone out there is, well, no, sorry, I do make these videos, and I do hope that people who are going through what I've been through get something out of it. Now, I know that I've been successful in that because I've had quite a few messages of people in the same boat or whatever. But what I would say is, obviously, if what I'm saying and describing my personal thoughts on my personal journey, if it's something you don't agree with, I'm sorry, but as I say, I'm not selling anything. It's just me. The other thing it did make me realise is that I do tend to just concentrate on what's actually going on in here when I make a video. So I kind of bypass all the good stuff, and I've said it before, I do take it as a bit of a given now. But I thought I'd make a point in this video that, yeah, when I made these previous videos, it's because I've got new thoughts happening in my head, and I'm having to deal with them and things like that, and I just wanted to document what it was. And I think that's important to do. If I just came on every month and said, yeah, life's awesome, sober, that's it. So it was kind of important for me to document my struggles. But on the flip side to that, I can see that if I just kept doing that, and as obviously the roller coaster's over for me now, and it's quite a smooth road. But I suppose if every other video I make it's me bitching about something, then yeah, it can come across as being quite negative. So I just want to put that right, and just say that as we stand now, 15 months and 2 days sober, I have never ever felt as good as I do now. I feel 100% in control of the drink. It just doesn't play a part in my life anymore. As I've said in previous videos, that went away quite quickly because I kind of feel this was my time. I've been at it for probably 3.5 years, and you know, it was horrendous. And obviously we were at starting point. I was on a bottle of whiskey a day, a big bottle of whiskey a day as well. So I came from a shit place, but yeah, as I said, it was my time, and I think that's why it's been a little bit easier for me, because once we use the phrase the penny's dropped, once the actual the penny clicks into place, then it's mentally so much easier to deal with, and I was lucky. That's what's happened to me this time. So the alcoholism side of it is absolutely gone. But you know, it's important to look back and, as I've said before, you know, pat yourself on the back. You know, over 15 months sober is absolutely phenomenal. It really is. But yeah, I just want to say how great I actually feel mentally now. You know, we're still not the finished article, but probably never will be. The thing with people who, I guess any addiction, but obviously I'll only talk about alcoholism, the one massive thing you have to do to quitting is you figure out why you do, why you are, why are you, why do you do things the way you do, and it takes a lot of soul searching. And when you get to these, after you've soul searched and you get to whatever reasons and excuses or however you word it, you know, then you've got to deal with those. So just about everyone I've met who's quit drinking is in the same boat. I was going to say we over-analyse everything. I don't know if the word over is correct, but we do analyse every part of our lives. And to be fair, I think we need to. You know, especially in my case, where I literally drank from 17 up until 42, and within that period it just got worse and worse and heavier. So I blotted out, you know, normal life, and obviously that's the key thing, and that's what all my videos have been about. The early videos were about not how to quit, but how I quit drink. But then what the second phase of sobriety, as it were, where you've got the drinking side under control, but all this other life stuff's at you, you know, and it's a nightmare, and it's really difficult. But you don't. I watched a load of stuff when I was trying to get sober, and there's not a lot out there that I found on YouTube and whatever other forums of people who were speaking of the other problems that happen. It was all about quitting the drink. But I think it's important to know that you're going to have a lot more stuff to deal with, and stuff you've never ever thought about. Because me personally, I was an absolute immature mess. And then all of a sudden, when you haven't got your crutch or whatever it is to fall back on, you know, when life gets hard, you know, instead of going to the fridge or pouring a whiskey out, you know, you can't do that anymore. So you have to live in your own thoughts, and you have to actually deal with them, because they don't go away. But it's important to know, because I think if you go into it knowing what it's going to be like, and obviously it's not the same for everyone, but if you go into it knowing, but that probably all sounded a little bit negative and hard work, but it's actually the greatest part of sobriety, because that's when you become the real you, and you start to get an understanding of who you are, and that's just awesome, because you realise you can be better and better yourself. You know, we all strive to be the best person we can be, but me personally, I didn't start from there. You know, I wasn't a horrible person, but I had lots of issues. But you knock them off one by one as you go. You can't do it in one hit. It's a nightmare. And obviously there's still things I'm not overly happy with. But I've got to say, at 15 months and 2 days, I'm just about there. I really am. All the negative stuff and the getting overwhelmed and putting myself under pressure and anxiety and worrying about things that are really not that important, it's gone. It really has. Really level-headed, which is awesome. I've got a fantastic peace of mind, pretty much 24/7. It's just brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. The more I think about the 15 months and where it started from to where I am now, it's absolutely mind-blowing, the difference in me mentally. So just want to send that message out and apologise if I've been a little bit negative and that, but as I say, I didn't look at it as negativity. I was just describing, where I'm at that particular time. So that's about it, I think. 15 months sober and rocking, absolutely buzzing. Oh, just quickly, what I have done, obviously, if you've watched these videos, I've dropped a load of weight. About a month ago, I've cut out the sugar now because I've been working out hard. Initially, it was all cardio work, but then I realised I was weak as a kitten. So I've introduced weights back into my routine. So I work out on weights for 3 days, have a day off, and it just cycles like that, which is awesome because obviously when I lost so much weight, I also lost a lot of muscle. So I'm putting that back on slowly. Still doing a bit of cardio, but I did my little, I'm not going to say downfall, but I do like a treat now and again. And my little treats were chocolate chip cookies, the big ones are beautiful. Crisps now and again, and biscuits, and again, this wasn't me binging on this kind of food, but when I would go shopping, I would always buy this stuff and it's always in the fridge. So on a night, I'd do that silly thing that we all do, where, today I've eaten correctly, I've worked out, I've worked hard, whatever you've done in your day, and I'm absolutely on point, so I deserve a little treat. And that's what I was doing, and as I say, it wasn't binging, it was just little strips of chocolate and cookies. But when you start looking at it and you realise first of all, the high calorie intake of this food, it's all sugar, and all the other bad stuff in it. And and I kind of got to thinking, well, you've done all this hard work, you've lost all this weight, you got yourself sober, you're as fit as you've ever been, and that's damaging you, what you're doing and what are you getting out of it. So I made a conscious effort to not buy any more, and I'll say I'm about a month into it now. As I said, I didn't think I ate a lot of this stuff, but oh my God, did I have a sugar withdrawal? Oh, that's what I put it down to. Obviously, you have that wanting when you say to yourself, right, no more of that. Now, what I should say is I'm not cutting it out forever, but I'm going to cut it out for, well, I've set a target of 6 months, but that's a long time. But that's 6 months is the goal. We're none of that junk. But after, even on the first day, like when I went to bed, like no more of that stuff, woke up next day and you have that wanting feeling. And it's like, this is weird. And I think a lot of it's habit from up here, especially on a night, you've done everything you've got to do and your habit is to go to the fridge and pick a biscuit, whatever. And it was like, and there's nothing there, apart from fruit now. Now, obviously fruit doesn't float your boat like chocolate does, or certainly not in the beginning. And I had about 2 or 3, possibly 4 days of struggling. The sleep went out the window for no reason whatsoever. It was really weird. Now, as I say, I've lumped all this stuff together, whether it was just because of this or maybe it was just me in general. But yeah, and I felt really agitated. I had a headache with it, and I never get headaches. And it all the sort of warning signs, the indicators were like, this is because you've cut this sugary food out. So as I do, I battled through it. No chance I was going to go buy something just because my head was telling me. And I'll say after 3 or 4 days, it went away. But wow, I mean, I've heard of people having sugar withdrawal and things like that, but God, I didn't think I ate that much of it for it to affect me like that. But thought that's just come to my head now is obviously I've got quite a balanced and healthy diet now. So I guess it was that sugary stuff was quite a big percentage within my daily intake. So yeah, maybe it was, too much. Anyway, horrible. And the thing is as well now, I know that if I went out and I bought something just to have a treat, like I said, I've been on it a month now, maybe I'll get to 3 months and I'll think, oh, well, you're working out, or you're doing everything, go get a pack of these cookies and just have one. But I was just, I think I would absolutely feel that now. And it'd be in a negative way. It wouldn't be, obviously you get that initial rush, don't you, when you eat something like that. And I've spoke about this in other videos, one of the massive eye-openers for me after getting sober was how food made me feel, and how certain foods were no good to me because you kind of had a food hangover in the morning. And it's really interesting because when I was pissed, I didn't have a clue. I just felt shit all the time. Didn't know, obviously, it's a drink, that's why I feel shit. But obviously when you take that out, all these other things come into play. So yeah, it's quite interesting, and it's obviously each to their own on that. It's whatever affects you. But now, as I say, I think almost a full month off of it, and I feel great. I really do. As I say, I'm doing the weights now, so I wouldn't say the strength's coming back, but it's working every muscle now, which is great. And I'm still dropping weight slowly. And the beauty of this is now, because I did start out on a diet at the beginning because I wanted to lose vast amounts quickly. So obviously the calories were lower. But now I'm generally having my daily sort of recommended calorie intake. And as I say, my body is slowly still losing weight. Now, it's nowhere near what it used to be. I think in the last 3 weeks I've lost about 2.5 pounds. So it's only small, but as long as it keeps going in that direction, and that's what I wanted. So the goal is, the 6-month goal was that you're going to work out on the weights with your cardio and your hiking and that cycling and that kind of stuff that I did anyway. And the idea is I'll carry on shrinking down a little bit, but the muscle will be growing. Not bodybuilder wise, you know what I mean. I'll just get everything working and I'll be strong, because I don't think there's anything truer than a strong body can only help with a strong mind, or vice versa. I think it's okay having a strong mind, but I think you've got to have the body to match. So anyway, absolutely feel fantastic. Really bang into it again. Don't get me wrong, still hard days you can't be asked going, but those are the days that you've got to do it. I think whenever my head says can't be asked doing that, that's when it's really important to do it, because that's when you really get the gains out of it, because you feel great afterwards. And I'm trying to do that in other stuff in my life as well, where you always put things off, or I do. I'll do that this afternoon, I'll do that tomorrow. When you actually say that, when I actually say that to myself, I have that little bit of a no, not doing it anymore, and I go do it. And it's all right. It's a much more efficient way of living, and you don't have this backlog of things in your head of things to do, which is great. So I think that's it. I think I've talked enough. 15 months and 2 days, and absolutely made up. Yeah, I couldn't imagine being where I was and getting to where I am now. I honestly couldn't. The changes emotionally, physically, mentally have been immense. And as I say, that's only 15 months. where am I going to be at 2 years, you know, 3 years, if I just keep pushing and do what I'm doing. So absolutely made up. I need to stop repeating myself, don't I? So once again, as I always say, if anyone's struggling, just put that drink down. That's all you have to do. Now I know that's hard, but just as soon as you stop drinking, everything will automatically start to get better. Yep, you'll be in a shit world of a roller. You'll be on a shit roller coaster for who knows how long, 6 months, 8 months, who knows. But you've just got to battle through it and keep doing it, because the end goal is absolutely priceless. It really is. So again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.